Hello friends, how are you today? I hope you're doing well. I wanted to come to you very quickly today to talk to you about art and how different people interpret art in different ways, and basically how cocaine is a hell of a drug. And this is a story that is one of my favorite stories from Hollywood, and it involves my favorite movie. I feel like this channel is all over the place. I just talk about the stuff that I like and stuff that interests me, and I hope that it all comes together in some kind of way. Anyway, so this is a story about my favorite movie, and we will start with the backstory. The director and the writer, Quentin Tarantino, when he first started out, he wanted to make the movie Reservoir Dogs, and he needed some money to do that. And so he sold to a few of the scripts in his series in order to get the capital that he needed to make Reservoir Dogs. One of the scripts that he sold would become the movie True Romance, which is my favorite movie. Directed by the late, great, my favorite director, until he passed away, Tony Scott. And then the other movie would become Natural Born Killers, directed by Oliver Stone. And to me, that is one of the most fascinating little facts in movies, because it is hard to believe, if you've ever seen Natural Born Killers, it's hard to believe that that was ever a coherent script to begin with. And it is very difficult to see Quentin Tarantino at all in there. Now, I believe True Romance, Tony Scott had a directing style that was similar enough to Quentin Tarantino's writing style, where you could see the energy. You could definitely feel the energy. There were differences that Tony Scott made in the movie. One of the biggest ones was that he kept Clarence alive at the end, which I believe was the right choice. And it's just amazing to see that Oliver Stone, in some sort of chemical-fueled whatever, created Natural Born Killers out of Quentin Tarantino's script. It's hard to believe. It really is. And I just think it's so fascinating that you could have two directors that could have, or three, really, when you take Quentin Tarantino into consideration, that could have such wildly different views of what the source material is. But I do believe that Tony Scott and Quentin Tarantino had a very similar idea of what the movie should look like, the pacing, the vibes, and then Oliver Stone was really just on something. And I'm not saying that Natural Born Killers isn't a decent movie. It's a good movie. But when I think of it as a script, a Quentin Tarantino script, it's psychotic. It's insane. And I think it's actually really kind of funny. I would love to see what, like, Quentin Tarantino's version of that script would be, or just love to hear about it. Because I know that it's like all the characters are connected, because there's a point in Reservoir Dogs where one of the characters is talking about Mallory. Which is really interesting. So I know that his truest intentions were probably for himself to make them all and for them all to be connected. And then he had to sell them and separate them, which was kind of interesting as well. But I just love that, because people can just, and I feel like sometimes an actor will get a script and they'll read it, and what they'll think in their head is True Romance. And then what they see when they get to the premiere is Natural Born Killers. Could you imagine? The bait and switch. That's a classic Hollywood thing, where the script does not look like the actual finished thing. You're just like, what the heck just happened to my script? Anyway, that is all I have to say for today. That's one of my favorite stories, just because it's absolutely insane. And I do like Oliver Stone. I think he's a great director. I love Any Given Sunday, which is his crackhead take on just kidding, on football, but it's so good. It's so well done. He's a good director, don't get me wrong. It's just crazy to think that the script that he turned into Natural Born Killers was something written by Quentin Tarantino. You know what I mean? But after all, it was like the late 90s, so, you know, it was all kind of Snow White all over the place. Anyway, love you! Bye!